Okay, let's call this meeting, the special meeting to order. It is 4:01 on January 2nd, 2026. Susan, would you do a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Susan Jett, Tony Salzman.
Here.
Ron Page.
Here.
David Legal.
Here.
You have a forum.
We have an approval of the, or need approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to improve the agenda. A second. Aye.
Okay, let's have a moment of silence. Okay, under new business, we have election updates. My name is Penny Trumby, and I've been appointed as special administrator. I am also the city clerk of Cherokee Village, which is a part-time position. I am not a city employee. I am an elected official. I will do my best to keep these two jobs separate. In saying that, do not call or go into City Hall asking for me or to leave a message or to email my email at City Hall. The emails will be put into a folder, but they will not be read or addressed. That is not where you contact me about SID. My email is cdsid SA, your special administrator, at gmail.com. It is set up. That is the one that I'm using for anything to do with SID. My top priority, hang on a second. I have spent 3 days going through the emails and sorting to what they are. So if I have not answered them, that is why. A lot of them are from the same people asking me the same thing. Give me a little bit of grace in this position. The phone number is the SID office. I will be working from there on occasion. My top priority is the non-compliance, one step at a time. As Andrew Dixon reminded me, I have as much authority as I want to insert. I cannot do this all by myself. Run the day-to-day in the office, the amenities, and correct the non-compliance. Transparency reports, along with anything else that we find and uncover. I want the commissioners to continue with the task at hand. I will oversee those tasks as we all discuss them at meetings. The office staff will stay in place just like it is to handle the day-to-day operations. The office staff is overwhelmed with FOIAs, 39 for one person. This is taking so much time of the day-to-day. It's getting unreal for them to do their job. Give them grace also. Now we're down to the election. We have an election committee, and that committee has a job to do. They've been through training. Continue to do what you have been trained to do. Tommy Essie is here to guide you. And I have talked to him.
Yes, ma'am.
He's not getting to be any help that he can for you. Just an FYI, it is the candidate's responsibility for understanding and complying with the election laws. CDSID can share general guidance, but let us make it clear that is not providing legal advice, and the candidates must determine their own compliance obligations. And that came from the attorney. In our bylaws, the SID bylaws, they state the election is to be on the second Monday of January, which is January 12th. The election is January 16th, 2026. This is the hard one, as the date was set before I was appointed. It is incorrect, but there are several things to consider. There are 3 commissioners that have stated several times that they are counting the days to the end of their terms. That leaves 2 commissioners. That's not enough to make the quorum to conduct any business. Yes, the commissioners will carry on business with approval. I was told that canceling the election and starting over would cost about $10,000. After talking to Andrew Dixon, the city attorney, as special administrator, I can make the decision to move forward or cancel this election. I feel we need to move forward as there are many things that need to be discussed and improved on. One property owner nominated 2 candidates. For section 2, 1-1, 2, a property owner may make only 1 nomination. That provision should be followed to ensure the nomination is not defective. That came from Andrew Dixon, the attorney. Scott Jones was nominated first. His nomination is non-defective. Steve Munch was nominated second. That makes his nominated defective. Let me say that the GM and the commissioners at this meeting should have informed Mr. Munch that he could self-nominate. Instead, they chose to continue. Lucinda Daniels sent a registration letter for nomination, called in on phone. Per 2-1-1-3 of the bylaws, nominees for the commission must be present at the nomination meeting to accept the nomination or have presented at the meeting a signed and notarized letter indicating the same. The safest interpretation of this provision is that the nominee must be physically present. If the nominee is not present and there is not a signed and notarized letter, then the nomination is defective. That came from Andrew Dixon, the attorney. Cherokee Village Suburban Improvement District Number 1, Section C-2. During the nomination meeting, any property owner in attendance may make 1 nomination. Nominees must be present at the nomination meeting to accept the nomination or have presented at the meeting a signed, notarized letter indicating the same. The property owner may self-nominate. The nominees will draw numbers from the container to determine the name placement of the ballot. Can't do that over the phone. This is an insert right out of the rules that SID has. That nomination is, again, 1 person drew the numbers for everyone, which does not follow the rules. GM and commissioners ignored the rules. No other candidate was offered this option of phone. Nominee defective. On January 1st, 2025, I received an email from Lucinda Daniels addressed to Andrew Dixon, SID attorney, as commissioners. I talked to Andrew Dixon today, and his reply was that said attorneys do not work for the public. His office is closed today, but he knew this meeting was today, so he returned my call. ACA 7-5-205. Write-in candidate votes dated August 1st, 2023. No person shall file as a written-in candidate. No vote for a written-in candidate shall be counted. And I have that paper with me. If you mark your ballot for a defective name, only that vote will not be counted. I also have a question, Tommy, that since I talked to you this morning, at the election, is there some way to notify people when they come in of that statement so that they know who is not or who is defective on the ballot?
That's your question, Lee.
Yes.
Well, I don't think let me just start by saying, I'm Tommy Estes. There's a lot of people here today who were on the list last time. I'm Tommy Estes. I'm just based in Chicago.
Can you hold the mic closer? Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry. I'm a former county clerk, served 38 years and conducted every kind of election that you can imagine under the sun. This is a paper ballot, hand counted election, which we did away with back in the 80s. But we done this before 4 years ago, and it worked real well. And we're going to preserve the integrity of this election and this kind of fair count. Uh, like giving notice of who is ineligible, and I've never encountered that before, but I don't see a problem with it. There's I can't think of anything that would prohibit that under any kind of election. I fish ball. I mean, something else you want me to address?
Not unless anything that's come up since we talked before.
To the candidates, uh, for your information, everything is done is subject to appeals to certain court. Okay, 16th district. If you do so, and I happen to be named in that challenge, I will not be adversary. My position is, and always has been, will go out. First of all, legal advice. If legal advice is challenged and no return to the court, so all the court. It's real simple. Everyone find that fair enough. Okay. I asked the county cut in here early because I have an unforeseen matter that I need to go see about. So I met this meeting this lady for the first time. I called and asked her about me in here. She accommodated me and I appreciate it. But we will conduct you an election that you will that,
Thank you, Tommy. SID bylaws are what SID is run by and what is to be followed. On March 17th, 2025, amended bylaws. A Susan Jett motion to allow property owners be eligible to run for a commissioner to be amended. Section 2(1)(1), Section C. Nominations to change and remove the word resident in the last sentence. Also, Section 4(1), remove the word residence in the first sentence and or relocate outside the CDSID boundaries. David Neville seconded the motion. Roll call. It passed 3-2. That is taken right from the minutes of that meeting. The only amendment that had been done to the bylaws when it concerns the elections. Residents replace the property owners is the only bylaw change, and it must be followed. CBSID has a set of bylaws to govern their organization. That is what we must follow. I took this position because I love living in Cherokee Village. I have attended most of the SID meetings as well as the city council since we moved here 6 years ago to learn more about Cherokee Village and how it runs. I knew it would be a challenge, but several had turned down this position because of the potential backlash. I do not know all the answers, but I go to the people who work those areas for answers before decisions are made. The attorneys, Tommy and JP, to the county clerks, and etc. I do not make these decisions just off of a whim. I do the research for them. There has been a lot of mistakes made. We can't change those. But how do we move forward? If you're not part of the solution, you become part of the problem. That is the end of what I have. I am, guess I will entertain a few questions unless it gets nasty because I don't have to. We have a microphone. Did you hear me? Yeah. It's three. All right, let's try that. Is that better? Yeah. All right. I've got a couple questions, but I have a statement I want to make. Okay, we are at the stage. Yeah, I'll make it quick. First off, I wanted to make a statement in regards to something that has been on the internet, so I want to just make it clear. I have not been in bed with Jonathan Rhodes and have never been in bed with any of the Rhodes family. Okay. Okay. So the statement you just made with the bylaw change, you amended it in March 2025. What meeting was that? Did you have that date? 17th. March 17th, 2025. Thank you. The bylaws that we're following then are from original from 2023. With the amendment, would that be correct? That is the only thing that I could find. Okay, all right, that's something I can find too. And I have one other question. Um, okay, I don't remember it. This didn't jot it down right, I guess. All right, thank you. That was it. Thank you. Quit. Take the mic out.
Sherry Roberts, 11 Tossy. What did I'm supposed to ask? What if you've already put in an absentee ballot?
Tell me who you are.
Sherry Roberts.
That is a question that Tommy can answer. You're D, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. First time I met you. That is a question if you would take up to Tommy how to that needs to be addressed. I will take it up to him.
What was her question?
She's already put in a absentee ballot, and if they've been determined defective, that vote does not count. She loses one. Let me check with Tommy on that.
Yes, sir.
My name is Jerry Smith.
Speak into the mic, please.
My name is Jerry Smith. I live at 430. On the Cherokee Village bylaws. In the Cherokee Village bylaws, it states that 1492 240 is to be if you have over 6,000 lots You have to comply with that. So I like to read a provision in that 240. It says, now that when we first started the SID meeting, a SID program, the new board of commissioners shall consist of 5 members who shall serve staggered terms of 3 years. Terms of office initially, the individuals receiving the highest and second highest number of votes shall serve 3 years. The individuals receiving the third and fourth highest numbers of votes shall serve the 2 years. And the fifth person shall serve only 1 year. Now, what the purpose of this is, it also states that an election should be held every year. And the reason for this is that after 1 year, one person, the fifth person, will leave. That person will be voted on. The second year that the new board starts, those people will be voted on. And also on the first and second positions nominated originally, those people will be. And it alternates. That's why you have to have an election every year. So you always have 3 veteran commissioners on the board. Not having, right now we're having 3 people voted for. This is not correct. And you can look that up on, it's ACA Title 14, Subtitle 5, and it's 14, 1492, 240. That's how it's supposed to be. And in our bylaws, they say you're supposed to comply by that. I just wanted to point that out. No.
I can tell you that that has all been given to the attorneys to review, and we questioned what we needed to do, and I am following his directions.
And that's what that.
Go ahead.
According to this lawsuit, we were set up to have an election every 4 years, 5 commissioners with 4-year terms staggered as follows: 3 elected that are being reelected in 2026, 2 that was who places that Susan and I took that were elected again in 2024 for a term of 4 years till 2028. So we were set by the lawsuit settlement to conduct our elections in this manner.
And I like that going road detail.
Yeah.
The when the last election came up and there were 2 seats available that Tony and I are sitting in now, no one in the community not nominated. And at that time, legal counsel said if that we would continue to serve, that we could serve. So that's why Tony and I took a different one.
Favor, 115 East Lakeshore. Here. 115 East Lakeshore, Digger. 1492 240 applies to the city.
Can't hear you. What?
1492 240 applies to cities that are 6,000. That's 100, not 1. But so my question is are we disregarding 1492 209? Which governs? Because in the bylaws, if I'm not mistaken, it does say where it's conflict with law, the law takes precedence.
There again, I am not an attorney, and that's why I send this all to the legal people. And what I have been told is what we have here. I have all the documentations, and that has all been discussed. And the attorney said our bylaws is what we go by. Our rules that we have here are in compliance, and that's what we are to follow.
So you're saying the city attorney saying that the bylaws.
I'm not saying I'm not
Is that
reading.
what- that's-
I'm not twisting anybody's words to tell you something that I don't know about. I'm telling you what he has told me to get me through this meeting to tell us of how we are doing the elections. And that is his, and I have it in writing from him.
So am I assuming that you sent what I emailed you to him?
He has seen lots of stuff.
So you can let me know what he says about that.
If it pertains to it, yes.
Thank
While we're waiting here, I just want to say one more thing. This is a hot seat that I am sitting in. And any one of you could have stood up here and took this position. And I do know the mayor interviewed several people, and they all said no. I chose to do it with my husband being on board, and after we talked to everybody, and I'm looking for the best way to move forward. We cannot change the past. It is wrong. Mistakes were made. But how do we move forward and make this place thrive and make it a place that we want to live? Yeah. So all of this, I think this says this, I think this says this, I want it this way. The threats, the allegations, I'm asking that to stop. So that we can move forward and figure out what we need to do. People, you give the office big credit because they are being bombarded with, questions that mean nothing except take time. Questions of things of why you're not doing this fast enough. What is Penny doing? What is this happening? They don't know because I have not told everybody of everything that I've done. I have 2 notebooks here full of emails, full of stuff that I'm dealing with here. One question one question is, am I getting paid for this job? And yes, that's a joke. But no, yes, I am. When I talked to the attorneys, when I talked to the mayor about doing this, the people that were looking at doing this suggested anywhere from $4,000 a month to $60 an hour to do this job. I want to do it and get done what we need to do. So I told them I would take $15 an hour up to about 20 hours a week. Well, guess what, guys? I've done 20 hours in the last 2 days in the holidays. But that's what I do. Am I going to continue that? No. But just to let you know that I am just one person. I need these commissioners so that they can do their job, so that they can figure out what they want to do, how city is going to be ran. Are we going to go back to a GM? Are we going back to what they talked about in the meetings? I need the office help to do their day-to-day stuff so that I can work on your non-compliance. The transparency compliance that you think everybody's after, I was going to bring it with me today. The stats of 1 year's is about 5 inches tall of paperwork to be filed. And yes, we have at least 1 year's done and picking up 2 or 3 that are almost done. The biggest problem we have, the paperwork is stuffed in a box somewhere. So we have to go through every box and find the paperwork that we're looking for. So there are a lot of things that have to change. So just like I said, give us some grace.
My name's Jan Draper, and I'm a facilitator of the election. That means I'm helping the volunteers get our ducks in a row to help you vote. I want everybody that's eligible to vote, please. And if there are a couple things you can do to make that happen, because it's up to the property owners, each of us, to prove who we are. and that we own the property. It's not up to the SID to prove it. I'm not an SID employee, I'm a volunteer, and I'm a property owner. So we have the tax rolls that we can look at. We have online help, program online from Arkansas County data. And we can take as much information as you can give us to find it. If your deed, if you're John Smith and your deed is under Alpha Trust, and you have your driver's license that says John Smith, I'm going to look for Smith, then I'm going to look for John, because sometimes that happens. And the John Smith Trust, it could be under John. But if it's under Alpha, I'm going to need some help finding that. And we are going to need some help. So if you've got the parcel number with you, that would be the Holy Grail. And if you're a trust, if you know you're eligible to vote on that trust, because for every property, only 2 people can vote. You can have 15 people on your trust, but only 2 of them can vote. And the same thing goes for corporations. So these are things that you can do to help us. And in answer to that question that was given to Tommy about the defective ballots, the last full election we had 4 years ago, Douglas MacArthur's name was on the ballot, and he dropped out prior to the election. So what we did at the polling place was we told everyone that Douglas had dropped out, and any vote for him would not count. And since there are more than 1 people that we're going to have to do this for, maybe we'll make a little sign so we can point to that and say, if you vote for these people, the vote will not count. So if there's anything else you need to know, I'll be glad to help you. And I hope to see everybody out there. Anything else? No.
Would you like that? Makes it MIXO.
Thank you, Tanya.
I was just gonna say, you don't go to parcel number, instead of inundating the counties trying to get your parcel numbers, you can go to, it's arcountydata.com or ACT Data Scout. And both of those, depending on what county you're in, some will bring on one county and some will bring the other. So that way you can help them out when they get ready to find you on the border rolls with your parcel number.
Yes.
What about our Cherokee Village SID resident card?
Just want to add.
Well, your parcel numbers and all that. We had to mark it off in the book,
Okay.
on the tax roll book.
Penny, what she said, you can also find those parcel numbers on the tax.
On the tax bill.
Property tax rates.
So I have questions in regards to the absentee ballots. I have to pay that need to go out. I can't cross anything off and send it off a ballot like I send to numerous people or people who come in and want it. So what's the protocol now on that? We just send them out, and when they come back in, you all mark them that because they voted for Steve or Lucinda or whatever. That is so good. I think we should consult Tommy on that because that's not fair. They did not have the information that these candidates are going to be marked right in and will not count. And I think they should be given another chance.
So the ones that are already in the ballot box, you're saying to give another chance?
I can't have to.
That is a Tommy question. Let us get a hold of him.